What's going on, everybody? I haven't streamed Albion in a little while, and a lot has happened since the last time I streamed. It's pretty interesting, actually. The last time I guess I streamed for you guys, I was probably at about, I don't know, 5 or 6 million total fame, maybe 7, I don't remember. Well, now we're at 27.5. We're in about, I don't know, maybe 1 month full playtime. Maybe a few days short of a month. I'm not entirely sure. But let's just say we learned a lot, okay? We started out with broadswords and a shield. That's terrible for solo. Just gonna bring an update for that. We got out of that pretty quick and went to axes, and we went to halberds. And halberds were a lot better than a broadsword and a shield for solo, but turns out it's not that great for PvE. Halberd's good for like zone wars, for, you know, there's certain little builds you can do for running and diving the back line and getting to the healers and stuff like that and pumping out a lot of damage pretty quick. Other than that, it's not the greatest for PvE. If you're gonna do axes, I would suggest great axes, and maybe bear paws are okay also. Great axes are pretty great though. Literally, it's in the name, believe it. But yeah, so pretty much it's a run through, gather up a bunch of mobs, and channel spin to win. Literally just spin them down to nothing. But I have found another build that I have really enjoyed playing, and I'll show it to you right now. It's a sword build. It's a one-handed sword build with an offhand. So what I'm using is Expert's Clarent Blade. The reason I'm using a Clarent Blade is because its E has a lot of AoE potential, a lot of high damage. 3 stacks of the heroic charges or whatever, and I mean, you're hitting for 753 on all mobs around you. Really good clear speed, okay? Heroic cleave, hit multiple mobs. If you hit a minimum of 3 mobs, you'll gain 2 strikes per swing. Max stacks 3 heroic charges, so you'll get 1 for 1 to 2 enemies hit, and 3 or more you'll get 2 charges. So it's really good. Plus it's also an AoE, so it's great. And then I've leveled up swords enough to get this final ability, and let me tell you, it's really strong. It's called Parry Strike. Takes a little bit of getting used to. It takes 9% of your energy. So, you know, you will use mana, quite a bit of energy rather, with this build, but we have a way to fix that. So what Parry Strike does is you become immune for 0.8 seconds. Okay, that's less than a second. It's less than 1 second. So you have to time this pretty good. So like on the cast indicators for the mobs, you basically look for when they're going to hit. You watch the mob's animation when it's about to swing. You pop this. What does it do? It reflects all the incoming damage back at the attacker. So if a boss or something is about to hit you with some major high damage skill, and you're good enough to time it perfectly to where that damage is reflected, you can deal tons of damage. In fact, a boss I was doing earlier, I hit it for like 800 and something because I reflected it. Also, at the end of and it's a channel, it's channels for 0.8 seconds, so you can't move or anything. You just stand still. But it makes you immune to pretty much all damage, knockbacks, and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about anything. You just have to time it perfectly. And then at the end of the channel, it deals 280 physical damage. So, and that's to all the enemies around you. Really good. Tons of AoE damage here. With heroic charges, you get more attack speed. And you're gonna make a lot of, you know, you've got this iron wheel. and that gives you an additional heroic charge when you use it. Also, it speeds you up, and it makes you immune to purges, and incoming damage is reduced by 25.9%. Now, obviously, that's going to be more. This is a 5.2 weapon. You get up there in the, 5.3, 6.2, 7.2s, the 8s, that kind of stuff. This number is going to be higher. But for a 5.2, it's 25.9%. So nearly 26% damage reduction. Pretty good. And if you're just starting out in swords, I would recommend using this because it's going to give you an extra heroic strike, an extra heroic charge, which are the little swords you're going to see floating around me. And when you have 3 of those, this does a spinning attack that hits for the godforsaken amount of damage. So you keep those charges maxed up like that, it's going to be putting out a lot more damage. Also, each heroic charge increases your move and attack speed by 12% for 6 seconds. You can get 3, so there you go. At 3, you're getting 36% attack speed and 36% move speed. So you're very mobile with this build. You get through the dungeons quickly. You have a lot of AoE damage, and it's really good. I recommend it for anybody who's new to this game and they're trying to kind of figure out how to play it, and they need something that's a little more forgiving. And it's forgiving because it gives you the move speed, and it allows you to dodge things that maybe if you weren't good enough to dodge them normally, that extra speed will get you out of harm's way. The offhand we're using is the Experts. I think this is called a Muzak. I think it's how you say that. And this is a 5.1 Muzak, and you can look right here, 9% attack bonus, physical attack bonus. The magic, we don't really care about. The physical ability bonus, yes, is good, because that boosts our damage of our physical abilities. We don't really do magic damage, so it doesn't matter. Everything else is whatever. It's mainly just you get physical ability bonus 9%, and you get physical attack bonus 9%. That's nearly 10% on your auto attacks and 10% on your abilities. And when you've got like a an ability that's hitting for 753, that's 75 more damage on that. So we're looking at big chunks here. Okay, it uses a lot of energy, the build does. So what we're doing is we're using a Scholar's Cow. A Scholar's Cow has the energy shield ability, and what it does, it gives you, it's really good actually. It keeps your energy up, because each time you take damage, you regain energy each time you take damage, which is fantastic. It stays up for 8 seconds, but it also increases your physical resistance by 111 and your magic resistance by 29 for 8 seconds. So you got huge defense bonus, and while it's up, you're regaining energy for every enemy that hits you, and not just hits, damage. So if you have a dot on you, like poison or something like that, all of those little ticks of damage will give you energy back, okay? So that's how we take care of our energy problem. And I just take the increased damage. The passive I take for, increased damage, because we don't need cast time. And energy cost, reduced energy cost would be good with another one maybe, but since this gives us so much energy, it doesn't really matter. We just take the damage. Okay, so chest piece, and this is a cloth helmet. Scholar's Cow, cloth helmet, good stuff, look at it. Chest piece, mercenary jacket. It's a leather armor, and what its ability here is, it's called Bloodlust. Every time you damage an enemy, you heal yourself for 54. Lasts for the lower of 8 seconds or 15 hits. So 8 seconds or 15 hits, whichever. You heal. Now, it says you heal yourself for 54, but other things buff that up, and it may actually be a little more. If you have healing cost reduction on you, it's going to be a little less or whatever, but ideally, this ability attacks fast, this build has a lot of damage coming out of it, and it's pretty fast attacks. And remember, with heroic charges, you get increased attack speed, so you're going to be like whack, 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 and every time you do, you're going to be getting health back, so it's really good. It's good to pair this ability up. Down here on our chest piece is the Bloodlust. That's this. It's good to pair this up with this helmet, because if you're about to die, you can pop this, take massive, or have massive lifesteal, basically. Not lifesteal, but you heal every time you damage. It's similar, but it's different. You're not actually dealing damage to the enemy with it. You're just healing every time you hit them. You pop this one. Alright, well now my resistances are sky high, and I'm getting all my energy back. So you can kind of boost, with these two abilities in combination together, you can kind of tank a lot from the energy shield. Also regain your energy from the Bloodlust. You can just go all out on your damage and not have to worry as much about getting hit. And plus, if you do get hit with the energy shield, it's going to be a lot weaker because of all the resistances. So this is a good little double skill combo to pop if you're low health. You pop that, and then you just go nuts and you heal yourself back up pretty quickly. All right, and on to the boots. The boots don't really matter, honestly. They're not that important. But I use soldier's boots because I get Wanderlust. It's the best, I don't know, the best run skill in the game. There's no skill in this game that will carry you as far as Wanderlust. And when I do solo dungeons, I use this because if somebody dives me, odds are I'm going to be in a fight when they show up. Well, I ideally do not want to fight them and mobs too, because I'll probably die. So I use this Wanderlust, and I can just run deep into the dungeon away from them, right? Well, that allows me to drop mobs on them. They have to chase through mobs to get me, because I can get way ahead of them and drop the aggro off the mobs. Well, then they got to get the aggro on the mobs to chase me. So it kind of lets me do that. It lets me reset. If I need to come in here, say like I need to be like, hey, this is the wrong skill. I don't want to use this skill for PvP. That guy had this, or that. I can change my stuff around. It gives me a little bit of time to kind of set up for the fight that I'm about to have. So that's what I use. I use a Thedford cape because auto attacks, chain lightning up to 4 enemies, 200 damage. Pretty OP, good stuff. I use this Master Satchel of Insight, and I got a decent amount of gold right now, 19.1 million, decent amount. And this basically increases my fame that I gain, so I'm getting like nearly a 20% fame bonus. But each extra point of fame you gain consumes 1.82 silver. So like it costs silver, but I can get more experience faster. And I found by using this that I'm still overall gaining silver on my dungeons. Like, I'm not losing, I'm just not gaining silver as fast. You know, I've been using this bag probably for the last 4 or 5 days, and I've probably gained somewhere around 5 to 6 million silver. 5 to 6 million silver. But if I hadn't been using, I've also been farming a lot of fame, like a bunch. We're talking like over the past maybe 6 days, somewhere around the vicinity of 20 million. So yeah, anyway, the more fame I farm, obviously the more money I'm going to use. But overall, I'm still making money. It just slows the rate in which I get money. So anyway, we're going to get started on this dungeon. I've jabbered enough. Tired of talking. I just want to play. And see those little swords around me? Those are the heroic stacks. Now notice if I hit 2 or more, I get 2 in one of my Q abilities. Whoa, what just happened? Okay. GG. Alright. I don't know what happened. Apparently I just froze up and died. GG. I have no idea. Did that... I need to go back and look and see what just happened on the stream, because I have no idea what actually just happened. My game just completely stopped working altogether. It was just like, no. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. I'm thinking the server might have just froze up or something. I don't know. Oh crap, I had Iron Will on. I was trying to parry that and I just tanked all those hits. Oopsies. Alright, we gotta swap that back. Yeah, this is supposed to be on parry, not Iron Will. Now, if I didn't have parry, this would be the next best skill to use. Make sure I didn't move any of my other stuff. There we go. I think we're good. Okay. And now we've got the parry skill down here on our W. Parry strike. Boom. Reflect that damage back. And, yeah. It just destroys them. A lot of these monsters' abilities actually hit quite hard. Like, I mean, some of them, it's just like, if you don't dodge them, you're gonna die. So, when you've got an ability that just lets you stand in them and reflect the damage, pretty good. And this is with one-handed sword, so, and I'm using a Muzak offhand. This is a really, from what I've seen, this is a really good, I don't know, the game is lagging again, I'm gonna die. Alright, we didn't die. Not yet any, oh no! I didn't time that right. This poison's killing me. Keep in mind, we're taking 90 poison damage a second, and I didn't eat a fish like a big dummy. Here we go, we got a fish. Now we're in good shape. Fish gives us 187.5% out of combat health regeneration. So that's why I use fish. That was my last fish, actually. Need to buy some more. I use fish because when I clear a pack, obviously I'm out of combat. So by the time I get to the next pack, my game or my health is just kind of like, all right, we're good again. See, I just dodge those explosions with my parry strike. So good, man. I'm really loving swords, one-handed swords. I think the broadsword has this ability also. The biggest difference in the broadsword and the Clarent blade is this E. The broadsword's E ability is, I think, I can't remember if it's AoE or not. I don't think it is. But the Clarent blade is just a huge AoE swap. See that? It just took them out. Really? I can't reflect long enough. Boy, these servers is gonna have to come up with something, man. They're gonna have to come around. I might have to relog, I'm not sure. Because right now my game is running like dog shit tumbling down a mountain into a lava pit. I found it'll do this, and if I... Occasionally it will. It's not like an everyday thing or anything, but I believe since the last patch, they've been having some issues with the server, because it's only has been happening after the very last patch that I've noticed anyway. So pretty much, like, you know, I was able... Oh, that lag. I was able to speed clear with the great axe really good. Like it was a good weapon for this kind of stuff, the dungeons. But I can pretty much clear it just as fast with the Clarent Blade, but I don't have the Clarent Blade maxed out yet, so there's something. You know, like my axes, I'm pretty sure my main axe skill is level 100. Let's see. Pretty sure it is. Here we go. Axes. Yeah. So my main axe skill is level 100. My main sword is 81 now, so it's close. So I'm slightly, you know, stronger with axes than I would be with swords. And I'm still clearing just as fast. Got this little boss, okay. Now the trick to the parry strike is you gotta time it like that. I got it. So you gotta time the abilities to where it's like, oh, I'm about to get hit, and they have to hit you within that little bubble, the little yellow bubble. And as you can see, where I used Bloodlust and the energy shield, my energy went straight back to full, and my life almost did too. So it's really good for solo dungeons, even on the harder bosses. Ooh. What we got here? Some tier 7 hunter shoes. It's alright. I'll take that. I'll take that. Nope. The only problem with some of these solo dungeons that I found is, like right there, you got this thing, like in my way. See this? I'm kind of invisible, but you know, there's a bleed through the wall where I can outline and see myself, obviously, but the abilities don't show through it well. So if you get in like kind of a compact area where there's a lot like stuff like that little guy's attack and this one and all that stuff coming through, if you get in a bad spot in the map, it's difficult to see. But I've got a lot more levels in my stuff now, so I'm definitely a lot stronger. Been having a lot of fun with this game. I've played it for less than a month, but you know, honestly, this is one of my favorite games right now to play. Really, I just been grinding solo dungeons. I'm in a good area. My guild has, my alliance has a lot of hideouts in this area, so I'm relatively safe. See, I didn't time that one good, so it didn't work out. But it's parry strike's kind of forgiving, because even if you do miss the damage reflection, like say the ability casts right before it hits you or something, or it drops off right before it hits you, the guy your character still does a little AoE swing after it. See, like I'm gonna try to dodge this. What's this? See, I didn't take any damage for that. It dodged it, it reflected the damage back, and then it did a little AoE spin swing. Parry strike's probably the strongest ability that I've found in this game so far for PvE dungeons. And honestly, it's probably be really good in PvP too, because it does make you immune to damage for that, you know, 0.8 of a second. But it'd be difficult, probably, in PvP to time that reflection just right. But, man, if you could, you'd make some, like, okay, a popular build right now for PvP is the bloodletters, right? It's a dagger, and I don't use them. Like, I've just barely leveled daggers up just to be able to use like tier 4, because I haven't invested any time in daggers yet. But I do know that bloodletter has an ability, I think it's the E, that does some insane amount of damage if they're below a certain amount of health. And I mean, it's stupid. It's a stupid amount of damage. If you get them to like 30%, I've seen people just one-shot people, 30 or 40% health, and just get one-shotted afterwards. So yeah, it's stupid good PvP weapon. But can you just imagine you're bebopping along with a clearance sword or a one-handed sword, and you just parry strike that attack? Talking about making about somebody have a bad day. They're like, yeah, I'm about to one-shot this guy. Then they kill themselves. And you loot them. And laugh menacingly. That's what I'd do anyway. All your goodies are belong to me. Anybody on the stream thinks you're gonna come kill me right now, don't, because I'm not that good at PvP yet. Still learning. Cut me some slack. If you come to kill me, at least let me kill the mobs first, and we'll just have an even 1v1 duel. You still may kill me and take my stuff, but yeah. Like this guy right here, I parried that attack and deflected it back to him. It did a lot of damage to him. It's really good for clearing bosses. And it's only got, what, 17-second cooldown, something like that. It's not that long. See, right there, I didn't time it. I didn't time it good, and it hit me. So, you have to get used to it. Alright, we're gonna get this parry strike right here. Here it comes. Yeah, see? Finished him off. So much damage. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I may end up doing some fame farm with my guild. I need to go get another fish, but I think I got enough time on me to get 19 minutes. Yeah, I can do this dungeon, finish this dungeon, and then go get more fish from the hideout. I've got a better clearance blade or whatever, but I don't use it because it's kind of expensive. Like, maybe like, if my guild does farm fame, where, you know, where I can have a bunch of people with me to kind of be a little safer, I'll probably take it so I can do more damage. Because the blue dungeons, I haven't streamed any blue dungeons yet, because when I first started and have been streaming or whatever, you know, I was new, I wasn't in a guild or anything like that. But the blue dungeon mobs, you know, they have a lot of health. So, you know, you got a healer, a tank, and, you know, like 4 or 5 DPS just beating away on big groups of mobs. And the playstyle is a little different than these solo dungeons. It's more about, like, the tank will run and gather up a huge group. So instead of fighting these, like, little packs like me, like, he'll run over here and he'll get these. He'll get these. He'll get this guy. And he'll pull them all together. And then we'll just fight them. And then I'll lag and die. No, I'm good. But that's how the blue dungeon play kind of goes. It's fun. It's fun because you've got enough time in between the big packs and the big pools that you pretty much have all your skills. You have all your abilities because everything's off cooldown. Whereas on this, you may do a pack with this ability and clear them, and then the next pack you'll use this ability. You can really maximize your damage output in the groups. And you can, you know, you can take away some of the things you do, like for defense, say. Like, for example, if I go to blue dungeons with a group of people, I won't necessarily have to use the Bloodlust jacket for the lifesteal or the healing. I may swap to, like, a Hellion jacket, which actually does a AoE around me that steals life from the mobs. And in big groups, it heals for more, in my opinion. Like, it heals for way more. But in solos, I use the Mercenary jacket for the Bloodlust for bosses mainly. It's not really for these groups. I can kill the groups usually without having to use it. Can't talk. But for some of the bosses are a little difficult still. So the Bloodlust on them and keep myself healed up so I can kill them. Whereas if I did use the Hellion jacket for bosses, I would only be like AoE life stealing from one mob. So it wouldn't be as effective. But in groups, like, they pull a bunch of trash mobs to the boss. Like, right here, they would pull this guy I'm fighting, this group up here, and the boss all at the same time. So the big AoE abilities are more effective that way. And they also will heal me for more as well. Plus, Hellion jacket's fairly expensive. So, you wouldn't want to lose it in solo play. And I found, so this guy's beating me up, I just do this, and I go to healing. I've taken reduced damage, and I'm healing for 72 in an attack. Easy. Oh, my phone went dark. I had my chat pulled up on my phone. Sorry if someone's talking to me. This guy's stuns are forever. It's ridiculous. Healers. Now, I would say right now I might can do this a little faster with a great axe. Maybe. But I feel like that if someone dives me, to come kill me in this dungeon, which this one's closed out, so this one's safe. If you wait at the entrance for like 90 seconds, minute and a half or whatever, you can wait till the dungeon will disappear on the outside, and they can't get in there. Really, I didn't time that one right. The timing on that attack he does is weird. It's like delayed. After the circle fills up, it attacks you later. How's everybody doing tonight? I see a few of you have joined. And like, if you were worried about getting dove, you know, like ideally, maybe like this is good for damage. That's about it, you know? Like, it's not gonna help you much when somebody dives you other than you get a couple ticks of damage off. I'd say Thedford's better if you're going to dive to kill people, because those fights aren't gonna last that long. So your capabilities is only gonna pop like once. But with Thedford, you might get it off twice. 15 seconds, yeah, you may get it off twice, you know? Be a little better that way. Aw, it's kind of bad timing. Dodge that, though. That hurt, didn't it, Scrub? See, they got all these big bad attacks. You just reflect them back, you win. Kobe. I just killed him with a poison potion. Alright. My fish is going to run out soon. I got to run back to my hideout, and then we're going to do some more stuff. Orange names are usually like people that you're probably about to have a fight with, but that particular guild is an ally of mine, so we're okay there. This hideout has I tell you what, like, I really enjoy being in a guild. I love my guild, and my alliance is whatever, I guess. Like, they're okay. The good thing about being in, yes, I'm in Arch. The good thing about being in the Arch Alliance is there's a lot of people in Arch, so you get a lot of protection in a way, because Arch players aren't allowed to attack each other. And so for a newer player, it's not a terrible idea. Now, a lot of people out there do not like Arch, but hey, whatever. I don't care. These guys have been, my guild in particular, like, I don't know if I would like other Arch guilds, to be honest, but my guild in particular are a lot of very compassionate, nice people. And, you know, we all stick up for each other and take each other's, you know, we got each other's backs. They're good folks. Maybe a lot of the Arch players aren't very friendly with each other, I guess, but, you know, I haven't been in here long enough to really have a strong opinion, but from what I've seen, a lot of the alliance guilds are, they're not very close-knit from what I can tell, which doesn't really affect me, because like I said, my particular guild, good folks. Couldn't say anything bad about them. Get some more poison potions. I just, you know, I like, there's a few options here for potions, I guess. If I'm worried about getting dove, which I always kind of am because I'm noob, but I could take an invisibility potion, which is a fantastic reset. And I tested this, and it works extremely well. you've got Wanderlust, right, on the soldier boots. Well, the way Wanderlust works is every second your movement speed increases by 10%, up to 8 times. So you get 8 stacks of increase, right? So it's like 1 second, 10, 2 seconds, 20, 3 seconds, 30, right? Well, that's drawn out for quite a while. So you get like a full 16 seconds of it. You get 8 seconds at 80%. So you're flying, right? You're moving real good for a long, long time. You can actually pop an invisibility potion, or you actually can hit Wanderlust first, and then pop that invisibility potion, and those stacks just keep on stacking. So it's like, as long as you don't use an ability or take damage, you stay invisible for 7 seconds. Well, you pretty much could just be gone with this invisibility potion, and they can't find you. So it's a really good combination, but I take a few poison potions because I like to sometimes use them on certain bosses that are really tanky, or like if I find a gold boss, a gold chest boss, or a purple chest boss that's kind of hard for my build or something, you know, I'll throw one in there and it kind of makes it easier. But invisibility potion and Wanderlust is almost like a guaranteed, like, hey man, I got out. Because if you're in those narrow hallways of a dungeon, right, they don't really know which way you went. They don't know if you ran deeper in the dungeon to the mobs, or if you ran back towards the entrance, because you're invisible. They're not sure. So it's a 50-50 chance that they even chase in the right direction. If they don't, then you pretty much can teleport out for free and get away. The only problem with that is, if you teleport out and there's a bunch of them at the entrance waiting on you, and that happened to me one time. It's kind of funny because I got away from 2 guys in the dungeon trying to kill me. I got away from them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. I just thought it was 2 guys diving my dungeon, you know? It's like, oh, it's 2 dudes out killing people. Makes sense to take 2 instead of 1, because these are solo dungeons. No, that wasn't the case, because I got away from those 2, and I teleported out, and standing at the entrance of the dungeon, there was like 8 people. So I was like, shit, I should have just stayed in there and fought them. So I started taking the poison potions, because it's like, well, if that happens, you know, it may be better to fight 1 or 2 people inside the dungeon with a poison potion and have a little bit of a chance of winning, or at least killing one, making him lose his gear. So that's kind of my new mentality on it, I guess. If I get dove, then... And that's one reason I'm using swords now, because I feel like swords is a little bit better for PvP than the axe was. I think the axe clears as fast, slightly faster maybe. It's hard to say for sure. But I feel like the blades, I have a better chance of killing somebody with. So at this point, I've been killed enough times now that I'm just like, all right, I'm going down. Taking somebody with me, let's go. But if you play this game, ideally, if multiple people show up in an area you're in and they're looking to kill, then you should run. Don't risk dying. Because, you know, unless you've just got crap throwaway gear you don't care about, then sure, do whatever you want. But if I lost my gear right now, it'd be whatever. But my gear's worth... This is one little feature I like about this game. In the bottom, it tells you the estimated value of my inventory. There's nothing in it, so it's 0. Would you hurry up and die? Thank you. And then it says my equipment's worth like $588,000. So a little over 500,000. And at least 50 of that's that backpack, and about 130 of it is this, my mount. So, and this is about 130. So between those three items, there's probably, you know, nearly 400,000 right there, or 300,000, over 300,000 right there. The rest of it's not worth that much. Even the blade, I think, might be worth 70 or 80. Nothing huge, but it's pretty decent. Like, it's, I feel like a 5.2 or a 6.1 Clarent blade is, it's good enough to clear these dungeons okay. But, you know, cheap enough that it's not terrible to replace. You don't really know anybody who's going to be like, all right, let's get our tier 8.2 gear out and go clear solo dungeons. Just doesn't make good sense. 6.2 is the highest I've used in solo dungeons or group dungeons, honestly. I own a lot of tier 7 gear and tier 8 gear, but I don't really use it much. I just either sell it or let it rot in my bank. But there's something in this game where you can get these dungeons that are PvE only, like maybe it's Avalon, Roads of Avalon or something. It's like, it's something new in one of the recent patches. I'm not familiar with it, because like I said, I haven't played the game that much. But it's a kind of an outlet for, say, like, hey, I've got full 8.3 gear and I'm ready to rock and roll, and I don't want to lose it. You go in one of those PvE only dungeons. I think you have to have maps to summon them or something. I'm not entirely sure how it works. Maybe somebody in the chat knows better than me and could explain it, but who knows. I didn't eat my fish. Why didn't y'all yell at me and call me dumb? I didn't eat fish. I went and got fish and didn't eat it. They're tricking me here with these multiple directional places. One's gonna have a boss somewhere. Okay. Damn it, I think I've missed a boss. Also, like, Wanderlust skill for this. Like, if I missed a turn, I get this super long speed up that I can just run around and figure out where the hell I'm at without wasting a whole lot of time. What the hell, man? Is there a boss down here? Yeah, there he, no, that ain't the boss. Son of a bitch. Oh my god, that hurt so bad. So did that reflect, didn't it, Scrub? feel like I'm running in a big circle. I don't know how I'm lost. Maybe I was just talking, didn't pay attention for so long. Odds are I missed the boss. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I definitely missed the boss. But I'm not running back to it now. I don't care. We're just gonna go with it now. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. I missed that parry strike. I should have just moved. I should have just moved and not died. But I was trying to time it to see if I could get both of those skills reflected, because I probably would have one-shot all three of them. Instead. So there's a little bit of like, with the parry strike, like if you mess it up and you don't reflect it right, you're gonna get hit and maybe die. That's a good one to parry. That ability hits like a truck. Heal, heal, heal. Really? I moved. Oh my god. Okay. You got me. Asshole. See, like this, when I'm kind of down some health, this is where I'll throw in that poison potion and get some extra damage off so that I survive. He killed himself on that attack. I've got a lot of crap at my hideout, like several million worth of crap. Like, I'm gonna have to transport it back to town to sell it. Now, there's a market there at the hideout, but you can't really sell stuff there because it's only available to the people that have access to the hideout. So just alliance people, you know? So it's like, well, mainly at that hideout, they sell like food and potions and stuff like low-level gear for fighting and just stuff that's not super rare. Like, I've got some stuff that's worth quite a bit, and so to make some money on it, I'm gonna have to take it back to the main place. Now here's a tip. If you're new at the game, you're doing solo dungeons, you enter this dungeon, you sit here for 90 seconds, okay? And the dungeon on the outside, okay, this outside dungeon that you can see will go away. This green little cave thing will go away after 90 seconds when somebody goes in it. So no one can come in from the outside to attack you. So you just come in and wait 90 seconds, and you're pretty much good to go through the dungeon without worrying about dying. I don't always do that. I'm kind of an impatient person. I like to run through my content pretty quickly. So I don't always do it, but if you're scared to lose something, it's a good way to go. I hate those guys. They're so annoying. Knock me up in the air like I'm on basketball or something. This dungeon with the like giants and stuff probably has the most aggravating mobs in the game that I've found so far. But I may not know them all, so I don't know. Oh, I missed the parry. I didn't miss that one though. This is where the people that have played League of Legends do well. Trying to like get these parries in and all that kind of stuff. Does anybody here actually play Albion Online? Don't mind me. Grinding away. Okay, my game's lagging. Hopefully they'll fix this in this week's patch. That big move I was running from and squealing like a little girl stuns you. And typically in this game, if you get stunned, you die. You just get beat down. About 80% of the damage mitigation is from dodging skill shots. Armor's good for auto attacks and stuff, but most of it's just dodging stuff. You can't dodge auto attacks, so. What? That didn't parry? I want a refund on this clearing blade. That should have parried. I call false advertising. I had a yellow circle all over my forehead when he hit that attack. Probably some lag. I'm getting a little bit of rubber band and I can feel it. These guys don't really have a good ability to parry because that's all they cast is that waterfall stuff. And it doesn't do a lot of damage. That guy's got a good ability to parry. The waterfall thing doesn't do a lot of damage. It just knocks you up over and over and continually damages you, so it's not that great to parry it. But this guy's cleave move is good, and I didn't have my parry up. GG. Scrub me. And this is just good to run from, because that's just death. Yep. Go away, bear. Nobody loves you. Oh, this could be good. Ooh, see that? Nearly one-shot all of them. Parry strike at its finest right there. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag going on right now. And I ain't really liking it. I really ain't got much choice, because here we are. Maybe I'll relog. I don't know. I hate to just boot the stream up and then relog in the game, but it doesn't take but a few seconds, so. Aha. Purple guy. Purple chest, purple chest. Big dollars, big dollars. I don't think that was a good ability to cleave, because it's like continual AoE damage. Oh no, I'm lagging. That would have been a good one, I think. There we go. Oh. Now we're doing some good. Bro, quit you spinning. Like, we get it. You like to spin, okay? Spin's rough, man. Ooh, what do we got here? A bunch of mediocre stuff out of a purple chest. No surprise. So these are the blue dungeons. And this is a tier 7 area. It's the second highest tier in the game. Mobs go up to tier 8. I can do tier 7 or tier 8 solo dungeons. This just particular area has some very favorable characteristics to it, and that's why I'm here. One, there's a lot of hideouts here that I can use to get away from groups of gankers. I can just run inside and they can't come in because they're not in the alliance, so that's kind of nice. Plus, I can just run to the hideout over and over and bank all my goodies I find, and then at a later date transfer them when I have a big group with me back to the main town to sell, which is, you know, pretty good too. I think somebody's in this thing. Oh man, somebody has cleared this. No, the boss is there. But why did they skip that boss? I better get out of here. There's somebody in this. I'm gonna get killed. Hopefully it's somebody from my alliance doing this. It's a blue dungeon, so that means there's gonna be a minimum of 5 people in there. So yeah, I need to leave. Time to ride the mighty Sabertooth. A lot of my alliance just gathering through here, so there's kind of always some people in the area. Makes it a little bit safer. So let's go back to my hideout, see if I've got a great axe laying around. Maybe I'll try it. Try it out on a dungeon or two. Kind of get a different perspective on get a slightly different perspective on clearing things. I think it's fun to play a couple different builds because, wait, did I bank some non-tradable crap? No, I didn't. Okay. Like, this whole bank is just the bank tied to this one hideout. So all this stuff I've found, and it's relatively valuable. Like, I don't keep anything unless it's relatively valuable. As you can see, estimated market value is 6.3 million in this bank. So, like, I got tons of crap, and at some point I'm gonna have to haul it all back. What is this thing? Carry-on collar? I've never used a carry-on collar. I don't know if it's any good. The DPS on it's kind of trash. 6 flat, 114 DPS versus 115 DPS. Gang. My guild's saying there's ganks. But the real question is, where are the ganks? I don't have a great axe. I do have a bow, though. And I've actually maxed out my bows. So, from the last time I streamed and showed you guys what I was up to, since that's happened, I've got level 100 cloth shoes, level 100 cloth helmets, not much in this. Level 81 on offhands. It's called Tome Fighter, but that's like, there's offhands for like a bit magic casters, like books and stuff like that, but there's also offhands for like melee users. Like with my sword, I use this, the Muzak or whatever, because it gives physical and ability damage, but you know, you can use that also. Taproot gives extra health regen, stuff like that. It's probably good for dueling, I guess. But the Muzak is what I use for dungeons. So I'm 81 in that. That's since I've started, you know, using the swords. 72 in cloth robes, 100 in helmets, 100 in boots, 72 in the chest piece. And then what else have I done? Daggers. I haven't really done much daggers. Here we go. Bows. I'm level 100 in bows, level 77 in Baton spec, the Baton bow. I've used the other bows. I've tried the other ones out. Like I'm 22 in longbow, 20 in warbow, and 4 in a regular bow. And a regular bow has some stupid high attack speed stuff. It's good. Swords, I'm 83. Axes, I'm 100. 67 specialization in halberd. 63 in great axe. So I got a decent amount of specialization in axes. And it tells you, like, you know, it'll tell you, like, I get 0.2 bonus item power for all axes for axe fighter ability, and it's level 100. So that's plus 20 bonus for all axes. But when you get down here in the specialization, like if I use a great axe, I get 0.2 bonus item power for all axes, and then 2 specialization bonus item power for great axes. So since I'm level 63, I get 126 item power if I use a great axe, and 13 to all axes. So like, if I wanted to be the greatest axe fighter that ever was, I would want to level every axe thing here to 100, but I'd want to level the main ones I use to max first because I get more value out of that. I wish I had a great. I wonder if they got one for sale over here. Let's see. Great axe. Nah. No. Let's see. Tier 4. Nah, I need at least a tier 6. What about a tier 7? No? Okay, nothing for sale here. Unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. I got a halberd, but I don't like those so much for PvE. But, I don't know. Well, I got a lot of crap in here. I might have to sell. I might have to empty this thing out before too long. Sell all that stuff. Come on, game, drop me a great axe. I'm feeling like cleaving some stuff down, you know? I don't know, though. That parry's so good, I hate to lose it. Kinda sucks when you can't get them up grouped up together. I want to do some corrupted dungeons soon. That way we can get some fights on stream and I can practice, but I think it'd be better if I did some arenas. Go back to the Royal City and do some arenas. Because then I could kind of practice without having to worry about losing my gear. Because in the arena, if you die, you just die. You don't, you know, lose anything. So that's pretty awesome. Oh boy, that was bad. I didn't time that well at all. good. Lots of freezing up going on here. Come on, Albion. Get your server stuff together. Kick a server. Knock it over. Dust it out. Use a vacuum cleaner. Do what you gotta do. We gotta get these servers running better. Maybe I just need to quit being a scrub and relog. That's probably it. That's the way we like it. Got a ball somewhere around here. I love it. This guy's got a lot of health, so I'll throw a poison potion on him. Oh my! Whatchamacallit wasn't up. You get 3 heroic charges built up, like, got some pretty good attack speed. This guy's got so much health, it's ridiculous. I don't see how he's a green chest boss. Like, how is that guy with 9 million health a green chest boss? I guess should at least be blue. But he is kind of slow, so like maybe mages could just melt him down really easily. Oh, great. I didn't eat fish. My fish buff wore off.
Colonel, how you doing? Oh no! How you doing?
That move speed buff is pretty nice from swords.
How you doing?
You can reflect magic attacks too, so.
In life, you torture Albion. In death,
Doesn't matter what kind of damage it is, just damage.
how you doing? Hold on. How you doing?
Okay. I am back. My lovely lady just came home from work. So she is among my company. Oh, five. See how this guy jumped in my dungeon? But he's an ally, so like he's not gonna attack me or anything. But normally, if that wasn't an ally, you know, it would have been a fight right there, pretty much. It would have been a fight to the death. Survival of the fittest. Really, I didn't get this person on my E. Had all those stacks, I didn't want to lose them. Oh boy. so a lot of times when I'm gathering up big groups like this, I like to throw my shield on. Because you're running around, you're taking damage, and that lowers that amount quite a bit. It's good for... How did I miss this one? That's what I want to know. Mad 'cause bad, I guess. Not really any good abilities to reflect there, so other than that explosion. But they only explode when they die, so it doesn't deal anything back to them. It just keeps you from dying. Oh my god. This just got really hectic really quick. I pulled a boss. My god, I almost died there. Really? These guys just reset? You gotta be kidding me. Why did they reset? That was lame. I kill them all? I think I did. Alright, let's go get our buff. Silver buff. There's fame buff or silver buff, and really only the fame buff's worth it. The silver buff is pretty garbage. It's 400% silver. It's not even worth, though. It's not very good. Perfect parry strike. One of the main reasons that I like swords better than axes was because the heroic charges are basically buffing your auto attacks. And with axes attack really slow anyway. But like with this, you get attack speed with each heroic charge, And the passive on my sword that I'm using is this. Let me show you. It's the deep cuts. Every 4 normal attacks, you inflict a bleeding on the enemy. Deals an additional 58 per second for 1.5 seconds. So you get 2 ticks of damage right there for that. And Axes has that as well. They also can use that, but it's much more, you get more value out of it if you're got all these heroic charges and you're attacking faster, because every 4 hits it does it, so you get more DPS that way out of that particular passive. I hate these ravens. They're so annoying. They just spear you around into stuff, make you pull room of all kinds of stuff you don't want to be attacking yet. Time for some XP tomes. I wonder how many it's gonna be. 7,000 fame. Not terrible. I got a purple one time, and it had 70 of those tomes in it. It's like 70,000 fame. Just killing a boss. Plus what the boss gave me. Probably like 3 or 4. Maybe 5, I don't know. Depends who it was. Clarent Blade OP. And it's not terrible in PvP either. Like, it's okay. I like it better in case someone dives me than an axe. Axes you might can get away a little better. The Clarent Blade, you got a better chance to fight them and win. It's got faster attacks, and like a lot of the people who dive dungeons have these hunter helmets. They retaliate, they use reflect and stuff. Kind of like my parry strike, except it's longer. It's like a 4-second window of reflex. So if you're playing axes and you go to spin on them, or you cast a spinning blades ability and it's spinning around doing tons of damage, and they just pop that, well, you're gonna be doing tons of damage to yourself. Whereas with this build, they might pop it, but you could just, as soon as you see it, you can walk away, and you may have only hit them a couple times, and they're smaller hits, but they're faster. So you had more of an opportunity to walk off than you would if you were just using some super high damage skill that was already activated. They'll just wait for you to activate a spin, and then they'll use retaliation, and you'll kill yourself pretty much. I've had that happen to me with great axes. If there was no reflect in this game, great axes would be awesome for PvP. One of the best, probably. But the fact that there's reflection and stuff like that, it makes it too easy to counter all that damage, because it is tons of damage in that spin. Tons of damage. Where y'all at? Hide. Oh my god, that hit me. Ah. That was almost bad. See, with the swords, I get the movement speed, attack speed. I can run out and dodge those skills because I'm moving. I got 3 stacks of this heroic charge. I'm moving so much faster. Now, when they run out, you'll see I move a lot slower. Big difference. 30-something%. Purple chest. Let's go. I don't know what attack is a good attack to parry on her, though. Probably that one. I timed that one bad. Okay, mercenary jacket. 6 flat. I can keep that for fighting or something. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream here. I just wanted to stream a little bit, give you guys an update on my progress in Albion. We'll be doing some more streams soon. I think we're going to do some guild stuff in a little bit, so I'm not really ready to stream that stuff yet. I don't, you know, I need to talk to a few people, see how they feel about that before I put out that information to the YouTube. But yeah, had a lot of fun, guys. It's Albion Online, man. We're just grinding away at this game. I plan to make these streams. Right now, I haven't streamed a lot because, okay, PvE content in this game is not the most entertaining to watch. You know, yeah, you can get some good information sometimes. You know, I can teach you the things that I've learned. For newer players, you know, and possibly some seasoned players could come in to my stream and give me some tips. So in PvE content, like, it's not the most entertaining to watch, and I understand that. That's why I'm not streaming it a lot. But here's the deal. We kind of got to go through it to become effective enough to stream the interesting content of, say, like, running around ganking people or arenas or, you know, Hellgates and the kind of stuff that really gets your blood pumping when you watch it. You get to see people fight, people die, people lose stuff, looting, getting looted. Like, this stuff's interesting to see, I think. So hopefully we're moving in a direction that is going to allow me to be able to do that pretty soon. You know, I got a little more grinding to go, and once we get to that point, we'll try to bring some very interesting content to the channel. with Albion Online. Well, that being said, I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. I feel the love, and I love you guys too. And I'll catch you on the next stream. Y'all be good.